You are listening to the Mark Lesko podcast, a podcast by diehard fans for fans. Mark covers all things Penn State football and the Pittsburgh Steelers, as well as anything related to the sports and fitness world. Tune in weekly to listen to a couple of dedicated fans talk about these topics without filters. Thank you for listening to the Mark Lesko podcast.
What's up, Steeler Nation? Welcome to the Mark Lesko podcast. I am your host, Jay Rod, and this is Steelers Central. There it is. So, what we're looking at here, guys, again, we don't have any further news on Aaron Rodgers as far as right now. I think it's, 2:17 on Monday. I don't know any news right now if the guy is going to have a surgery or any kind of setback, or if it's over. I don't know. I mean, it's in his non-throwing arm, but that is right now. The question is, knowing what we saw from Mason against the worst defense in the NFL, let's just remind ourselves of that. He did what he did against the worst defense. It's nice that he did it. You had to show it. I mean, if you flattered against that team, then yeah, we would be in big, big trouble. But he did do some spectacular things. And yes, from the look that I saw from guys like Metcalf and, of course, Washington, Rudolph made the offense kind of flow just a little better. I don't know if it's because he's younger or he's quicker. And again, the difference with Rodgers and Mason is Mason no longer has what they call the happy feet. Rodgers has shown these past few games since pretty much Green Bay, that he's had happy feet. I haven't seen the happy feet since Green Bay. I've kind of seen a little bit of, bobbing and weaving and running all over the place kind of attitude. And it wasn't like that at the beginning of the season. And, since Green Bay, we've had the 2-2 record that we've had, and we've seen him kind of get away from it. And now the offensive line with Mason, he doesn't do that. He just takes 5 or 6 steps back, plants his feet and throws. And not having to just improv with the line. They're not trying to maneuver off of their blocks, and they're looking so much more efficient. And I've heard the stories that they appreciate Mason for not doing any of that. That's what makes their job so much better. So how important is it for success? I mean, that's really my kickoff topping point. We're right now witnessing this team not have their star running back and quarterback. And you had to see Mason and Kenneth Gainwell be inserted, and both of them showed up against this bad defense. I have to keep saying it just to make sure we don't get off point as to he looked really good. It's against the worst defense in the NFL. You can't look good against the worst team in the defense in the NFL. You do this against the Bills or the Lions or the Ravens, then I will completely shut it and say, yes, you're darn right. This guy is absolutely fantastic. So until we see that, I think we have to remember this is the circumstances that we're going to go into. But, if you go further into this game, like I said earlier, DK's completions look cleaner with Mason. Darnell, I know he made a big adjustment when he got the ball. As soon as he caught the ball, he just was gone. You can't stop that kind of force. That helped Mason a lot with his numbers, with the after the catch and what the players did for him. I mean, they're just fantastic, talented dudes, and they're big. So that helps a lot. What would it be going forward? The next game that we play, I'm not going to do my predictions until Sunday, guys. I'll hold off until that point. But this is our next challenge. We have Chicago in Chicago. That's going to be a big difference. I don't know what their home record is, but I like to think that it's good if they're 7-3. The challenge that waits now is, can this be sustainable with Mason enough? I don't know. Again, we don't know the severity of Aaron Rodgers' injury. We don't know if he's going to be out for a a couple games, like even if he's going to miss a game, or is it that bad that he needs surgery and he'll be out probably if we make the playoffs until we get to the playoffs. But I'd like to think, could we see the 2023 version of Mason for the next 3 or 4 games? Absolutely. I mean, I never thought that Mason was a bad quarterback. I know Mark's point and views on him, and I get where he's coming from. It's tough because he has a little more tangibles and tendencies that are not, starting quarterback stuff, but there have been flashes of greatness, like these 60, 70-yard bombs he can throw. It's nice and refreshing to see that. And the dude's only 29, 30 years old. So he's right there at the prime of his career. It is going to be nice to have a guy who's big that you can't bring down and he can take a hit, still. That's going to be refreshing to know that we don't have to worry about someone, taking out the guy, the brittle bones. It's how we feel. And that's just the way life is. You get older, the stuff hurts a little harder and longer, but the best thing that we can do as fans is just appreciate that they got the win yesterday. And again, we're not going to go into detail with the Bears, but that is the next challenge. If he can look like that against them, and the Bears are, of course, a much better team than the Bengals, then, yeah, we can start to, take that, anxiety off the shoulders and just be like, all right, now we got ourselves a big, fast, huge quarterback that can do whatever he wants with these really talented guys. And I don't know, could that also open up the door for Pat and Jonnu to finally get something going with those guys? I love Darnell, I really do, but it'd be nice if we can get all the tight ends involved in some way, shape, or form. That's just what we need because, Roman Wilson and Cal, it's not there right now. I don't know what else to say about it. It's not something you can rely on. It's not. It's just you hope it shows up, and if it does, great, but you don't know if it's going to or not. The inconsistencies just make you so nervous as a fan. So I know that from the look of Jaylen Warren's injury, I mean, he said he was questionable to return. They didn't say he was doubtful. I don't know how much time he'll miss. He might miss the Chicago game. If he does, I'm just going to say hopefully he'll be healthy by the Buffalo game. Hopefully whatever he's going through requires just 2 weeks of rest. That's all we can ask for. No surgery, no MCL, no nothing like that. I mean, again, we saw what Gainwell could do in the air as well as he could. I mean, he couldn't get anything going in the run game, but he really was a huge threat. Like the Najee use was a couple years ago with Kenny and everything. Those are huge moments when Najee was making big plays, and we could have that again with Kenneth. I mean, it's nice to know that we can rely on these backups. They so far have shown that, but again, they did that against this bad team. If they do this against Chicago, then you can get a little more excited. So that is my first that's my kickoff topic, and we're just going to go right into the halftime show, and we're going to talk about the top 10 teams. I know I just did this yesterday or just recently, but I have a new list already because tonight is the Cowboys and the Raiders. They're not going to be messing up the top 10 list. Sorry to say that to you guys or your fans, but that's the truth. So without further ado, guys, with the top 10 teams, number 10 goes to the Chicago Bears, the team we're going to be facing this week. Caleb Williams and company just barely squeaked out the win against Minnesota, but they were doing everything they could to win that game. They had the turnovers. They had, smart plays, and they had a great kicker. They did, again, enough to win that game. And I think they kicked 4 field goals. Maybe, no, is it 12? Yeah, 4 field goals, and they scored a touchdown. But, again, Vikings have a good defense, and they were able to hold them to that much. I mean, listen, we beat the Vikings, so it's an interesting thing, but the record is really what's putting these guys in the top 10 list for sure. 7-3. This coach is still young. He has a young quarterback. They have a lot of good young talent. So they have done enough this year to be put in this conversation. I mean, listen, they have a better record than the Lions. They're holding the the NFC North right now, the best team. That's why, again, you're also in the top 10. And the Lions are not in the top 10, and neither are the Steelers. So I just want to get that out right away. So the number 9 team goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Their loss against the Bills really dropped them. I mean, the Bills, I think, have almost identical situations. The Buccaneers do. Or the Bills. The Buck and the Bills have the same situation where it's like they got a really good quarterback that knows how to get the ball out, but the Bills just did everything right. They didn't falter. I think Josh Allen had 6 touchdowns. He came alive like he should have. And again, that's really the sign of a good team when you can keep yourself in the winning percentage, 5-4, 6-3, whatever their record was. And then it's like at the end of the season, then you can start to really come alive and really use up all the energy. If you know how to reserve your energy for the second half of the season, you're a good football team. And believe me, they are good, but the Bucs, they deserve to be in the top 10 because they're still winning their division. I think they're currently 6-4 in the AFC South, and the team that's behind them is the Panthers. Really? Wow. Who if you had $100,000 put down on a bet, you'd be a very rich person. I'm just saying, no one would have the Panthers with a winning record at any point in time in the season, let alone more than halfway through the season. It's unbelievable. So I'm impressed. But no, moving on to number 8. The number 8 team is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. I didn't have them in my top 10 yesterday, but after they beat the Cardinals and after they have secured the wild card spot, Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy and company, they're winning. They're finding ways to win, and they are keeping themselves afloat in that very tough NFC West. My goodness. I know I have 2 teams ahead of them in that division on this list still to go. So, and with that said, the number 7 team is the Seattle Seahawks. Man, I knew it was a mistake to freaking pick them over the Seahawks over the Rams, but they didn't show up really. I mean, I don't know what the final was. I don't know if it was close or not, but see here real quick. I have it up here. 21-19. Okay, so I mean, they just beat them out, and they didn't get stomped or they didn't stomp them or whatever. But hey, winning that's all that matters in the NFL. Yeah, so the Seahawks just lost to the Rams. It was a back and forth game, but hey, when you have that kind of situation, you try your darndest to win it, and you didn't. So you have to fall a little bit in the standings, but you're still a top 10 team, and you're going to do something in the playoffs. It was a close game, but you were on their territory. That's just sometimes it's all it takes. So the number 6 team is going to be the Buffalo Bills. They are definitely close to the top 5. I mean, being 7-4, is that their record right now? That's what I saw. Yeah, 7-3. Yeah, they did some spectacular things against the Buccaneers, and that's a very tough offense to shut down, and they held them to 22 points, their defense. So, yeah, Bills, again, they're always in the conversation. They're just doing great things right now in the season. They're hitting their stride. They're starting to get into the second half of the season, and they know it's coming. And I don't know if they play the Patriots soon, but I know it's coming up. Let me just see the schedule here. Bills. See what's next. I just want to see. Look, I'm just looking to next week, just real quick, guys. So the Bills take on Houston on Thursday night. And Buffalo takes on Pittsburgh in 2 weeks. Just looking for that. No, I don't play them. No. I'm just curious when the next time they play Patriots. I'm so sorry. They play New England on Sunday, December 14th, so in 3 weeks. Okay. Yeah, so we're going to know who's going to take that division by the December 14th. I mean, when they face each other, it's going to be close. But yeah, they're getting ready to take care of business and get the rest of the season out of the way. So the number 5 team, guys, is the Los Angeles Rams. I shouldn't have doubted them. I did not pick them against the Seahawks. I should have done that. But again, they did just enough to win that game. It was a tight game. It wasn't like they blew them out, looked impressive, but they've earned it because they are the best team in that division now. The NFC West is the Ramses right now to lose. And Sean McVay and company and Matthew Stafford, again, just doing everything they could to make the best situation. And now they have the record in that division. So they are definitely right where they need to be. So the number 4 team, guys, goes to the Denver Broncos. I mean, Denver has just done spectacular things. They keep winning. It doesn't matter how they win, they still win. And again, this Bo Nix, Sean Payton thing is like a match made in heaven. And Cortland Sutton is what he does, is who he is, and they just keep finding ways to win these games. So they're absolutely forced. They are the best team in the AFC West. It's not even close. And yeah, without further ado, the number 3 team is going to be the Indianapolis Colts. I'm not going to, penalize them for having a bye week. They still are a top 5 team. They're 8-2. They are completely in the driver's seat in the AFC South. I don't think any team is close to them. So they're still Jonathan Taylor. They're still Jones, and again, best versions of themselves. So they are a fantastic team, and they deserve to be number 3. And the number 2 team is going to go to the New England Patriots, 9-2. They are just amazing. They have done everything right this season, guys, with the players they have, with Drake May, Mike Vrabel, and Stephon Diggs finding his home in New England. And he is now part of this ridiculously good team. And we're going to know what this team really will be when they take on the Bills in 3 weeks. And it's going to be in New England. It's going to be amazing. Cannot wait for that game. It's going to be an awesome one to watch. So that leaves, of course, the number 1 team, the Philadelphia Eagles. I know they didn't, completely maul down the Lions, but they did not let them do a dang thing in that game. I mean, the Lions had probably one of the worst games they have had in 2-3 years. It's just, it is what it is. It was in Philadelphia, and they didn't do anything impressive themselves, but they keep winning, and they have the record they have, and they have probably the biggest gap of any team in all of football. I mean, my God, they're 9-2 now? That makes them. Let me just check this real quick. I just want to make sure I got the number. Yeah, they're 8-2 in the whole entire NFL, and I think the closest team to them is the 3-5-1 Cowboys. For goodness sakes, that's the largest gap you're going to get, guys. Shoo-wee. Crazy. They deserve to be the number 1 team. They're the defending champs, and there you go. And so let's end this, guys, by taking a look at the bracket for the current playoff standings. So what you have here is, if the season were to end today, the Eagles would have number 1 seed. Denver would have the number 1 seed in the AFC. That leaves then the matchups in the NFC to be the Seahawks taking on the Buccaneers, and then the Packers taking on the Bears, and the 49ers taking on the Rams. Wow. Almost like every division's taking on each other's division. That's unbelievable in the NFC. That would be so much fun. And then, of course, in the AFC, the current standings is Buffalo would be going to Pittsburgh again for another playoff game. And the Chargers would take on the Colts, and the Jaguars would take on the New England Patriots. Whew. I mean, there's not a single bad game in this whole entire setup. Not one. We would all look forward to seeing those games. That'd be fantastic to see that result. I would love it if this were the bracket for the playoffs. Yeah, you can't ask for more. So there you have it, guys. I have nothing more to add with it. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys. I'm going to be doing a members-only video for the Mark Lesko podcast. It's my first one. If you guys want to catch it, if you're members, please come on. I would very much enjoy having you guys on. And until the next time, guys, here we go, Steelers.